Hey, welcome one and all to the Clarity Cafe, where everyone gets clarity. Hey, I'm Josh. I'm your host, and another edition. We're chilling here on the stream of live on the studio of you or of the tube of you. So, um, if you're here and you're in, drop in and say, "Yo, what up?" Drop it in the chat. I appreciate you being here. So today, kind of wanted to just like go over, unless you have any questions, right? The whole idea here is just to kind of get our mindset on for the week, right? To get everything, online. If you have any questions, anything that you're working on, you're stuck. And that's what I do as an intuitive guide. I come in here and get some clarity with you. So if that's anything of remote interest to you, drop it in the chat. Let me see. Tell me where you are tuning in from. Are you coming in from another planet, another state of mind, another state, another country? That's what it's about. All right. Thank you for the thumbs up. But yeah, so and typically what I do here is I'd like to come in and just go over what's been going on with everybody during the week. If you have any questions, you can feel free to drop them in the chat, and I will do my best to answer them. But I was going over, I just did a video, I just uploaded it on spiritual and energetic hygiene, and I wanted to kind of recap on a lot of that because I did have some questions. And the thing with spiritual and energetic hygiene, like you go online, if you go on to say Instagram, TikTok, you go onto these other platforms, and you will see a host of, all different types of oracles and divination and pendulums and crystals, and not to knock any of that, right? I get it. There's some cool stuff. Just adjust my seating here. I'm doing this outside on my patio because, it gets too dark in the bedroom or in my office this time of year, and hopefully I don't get too bit with mosquitoes. But so there's a lot of different things grounded. Most people, when they go into sessions, like if you see someone and you want to get like a tarot reading, right? Or you want to get like past lives or soul readings. I'm not saying that all these people are, snake oil salesmen, but a lot of them are. What differentiates me from anybody else? Well, that's something that has to be met with, right? I can't, like, I've had people come up and, prove it to me, tell me these things, it's like, the proof is in your experience, and that's all I promise anyone anyway is an experience. So and as a medium, because I see, hear, feel, sense, and sometimes in some cases smell, and there are different protocols and practices. I actually wanted to do a screen share. I don't know if I can do that. Can I do that here? Let's see. I don't think I can. Yeah, I don't think I can screen share here. Unfortunately, pop out dashboard. I guess if I did something on a, let's see. Nope, no, I don't want to do that. Anyway, still fooling around here trying to figure this all out. But so if you've got any questions, anybody out there got any questions? Just you let me know. For the lurkers in the background, it's like, let's see. Oh, there we go. There's just a lot, and people are confused and abused. I think a lot of people I've seen, clients I've worked with, people are just kind of like not really located. They're not grounded in their physical vessel, and that can be an issue, because if you're going to work with someone and you are not currently grounded, how do you think that outcome, what do you think that's going to look like, right? Like, do you think there's going to be some success there? And a lot of times these practitioners themselves even have, field issues. Like one of the things I always say is there should be some questions for discernment. So people that you're going to work with, what's their background? Like, my background is, I didn't take any courses. Things just naturally evolved for me very organically from around I'd say 98, 2000 till now, and I think people that are mediums, that are psychics, tarot card readers, tea leaf readers, whatever. There's every type of reader out there. The thing that I want to point out, the biggest game on the planet right now is really about one thing and one thing only, that everything you see, this is just, again, this is my opinion, my observation, my experience, right? There's nothing written in stone. Don't believe a word I say. Take everything at, whatever value, face value you want, but I leave it, the evidence and the experience is up to you. That's really what counts, is when you are able to tune in with yourself and access your own, higher sensory perceptions, then that's really where the game changes for everybody, right? Because if you can't access your own higher levels of identity, right, then that's when people don't trust themselves and they end up going horizontal rather than vertically. They because it's you vertically connected. It's you have different stations of identity. If you're in the sort of new age movement or whatever, or just on a spiritual quest, you've heard the terms higher self, right? And these are stations of identity that everybody's got, right? So when you tune into them and you access them, it's like going to the gym or working out. You're tuning in with a muscle, you're accessing it, you're invigorating it, you're revitalizing it. And next thing you know, man, things are happening. Self-healing, self-awakening, self-rejuvenating, regenerating. And if you just tune in around the world, we're seeing this stuff happen. Oh, hey, Mr. Crow. Um, we're seeing things happen. There's an emergence, there's an evolution, there's an awakening that's happening. And, that's the thing. Do you want to be a part of it? Are you a part of it? Where do you stand with all of this? If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you on your journey with health and wellness and anything like that. Of that, I got my Shaga and my Shilajit Chi. My chi tea is what I call it. Energy tea. I'm in Florida, and we've had this like issue with love bugs, those little two bugs stuck together like a few days ago or a week or so ago. Everything was just like, they were all over the place. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy, pretty chaotic. And now it's tapered off pretty good. But, so yeah, if anybody's got any questions at all, drop them in the chat. Let me know. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're anywhere around the globe, if you're off planet. Yes, I'm tuning in from Mars. No, I'm tuning in from Uranus. I'm tuning from Pluto. It's like, come on, man. Ladies and gentlemen. So, but yeah, the topic, and I'm just sort of recapitulating it, is the fact that, spiritual and energetic hygiene are everything. And even if you're not going for a reader, right? It's not even about getting a reading, actually. It's like just during your day, when you go to your office, your job, at work, at home, with your kids, with people in general. There are different types of tools and tactics and protocols and ways to address people. Not always in 3D, right? You have an argument with a sibling, a parent, somebody, sister, brother, cousin, mother, uncle, distant relative, coworker. There are ways to communicate with that person at their higher level. Because if you're talking to them in 3D and they're blocked or they're not really, connected, what ends up happening is, you're getting ego. You're getting, it's almost like taking an amplifier and you're putting the instrument up to the amplifier and you're getting feedback, or you're getting distortion. I'm sorry, not feedback, distortion. And it's the same way with, energetics, the way that we communicate. And so if, there's an exercise that I love to share with people, which is great. Maybe I'll put it into create a PDF, but for what it's worth, you can, pause and write it down or listen or record it. So long ago, what I did was I went on this is back in the 80s. I took this course called Insight. This is back in Santa Monica, California. And there were always these different exercises that we always did. There was about 100 people in it, but one of the exercises that stood out for me, which was really helpful, was You created what was called, what was the title of it? Um, you create, oh, you create, it was a sanctuary creation. You created your own sanctuary. You close your eyes, you get kind of whatever, you kind of get in that Zen zone, as I like to call it, toning, whatever you need to do. No drugs, no weed. Okay. We're doing this consciously, coherently, not out of any other place or space. So you're breathing for like, a few minutes, a few moments, get into place. Now, not everybody's visual. Some people are more audible. Some people are kinesthetic. They feel more. So when you close your eyes, you don't have to see it, but have the intention. So what you're going to do is you're going to create your sanctuary. And your sanctuary is any place you want to be, right? Anywhere you can imagine it, can be off planet, can be anywhere. You build your pod, your home, okay? And in this place, you're going to have a mood room, you're going to have a people mover, and you're going to have like, you can have like a recreation area. It can be on a beach, it can be in the mountains, the desert, it can be hovering in the sky. Use your imagination, just make it whatever you want, okay? And within there, okay, so say there was I'll give you, first I'm going to back up with an example. So we did this exercise, okay? And the example of this, and I may have shared this in another video, but for shits and giggles, I'm doing it again. It's a reprise. So the what happened was with the exercise, okay, is everybody, each person had a partner, right? And that partner would hang out, you'd switch partners, right? You do, you kind of have a partner and then you would switch out, okay? And in that thing, the person would give you like your partner would give you a person that they know, and that person that they know couldn't be on drugs, couldn't be, alcohol or anything like that, their name, where they live, and I think that was it. Okay. So verbally, they're giving the other person, like me, they'd give me that information. I close my eyes, I go into my sanctuary, right? And I had this thing all designed. Now, when you're designing your sanctuary, like you snap your fingers, okay, I want a mood room, boom. Okay. And the mood room has this, boom. Snapping your fingers to make things appear and disappear. Okay. Got that? Cool. So that's what you do. You're doing that part, and then the second part was, okay. So this person, the partner I had, this woman, um, uh, she told me these things about this person. Gave me this, I guess, guy she knows, boyfriend, whatever. And next thing I know, I go into my sanctuary and I go into my mood room. I put on my jacket for the way that I was feeling in that mood. So I had like a mood room, right? So I would wear like a dinner jacket, and it would be like either gray, blue, earth tones, whatever, colors. And and then I had a people mover, right? Now your people mover could be like a cylinder coming down. It could be simply a door. Mine was like the monorail from Disneyland. That's what mine looked like. It was like this room where this monorail came in, and there was like this fog, right? And then the monorail comes in, the top hatch opens. Okay, that was the way. That was my people mover. So then this guy gets out, he grabs me, gives me the biggest hug. And so during part of this exercise is that you give verbal feedback of what you're seeing. Okay. So he gives me a hug. Then next thing I know, there's this scene where I see her, the woman that gave me the information. I see her on the back of a motorcycle holding him, like holding his waist, because they're going so fast, right? I'm seeing all this in my inner vision. Okay. Now, just to shorten this and bring this home, right, is that at the end of the exercise, you did this for about maybe 5 minutes. At the end of the exercise, 100 people around the room, the facilitator up on the stage had done something previously which I didn't talk about. He had a big drawing board, or like pad, and he drew the word alone, ALONE, and he drew a palm tree and someone sitting on an island, and he did another palm tree and another person sitting on an island, and the word alone above the two palm trees, right? And so after the exercise, he went around and said, on 0 to 30%, how much of the information that you gave your partner was correct? Some hands went up. Okay. 40 to 60, more hands went up. 65, 60 to 80, some more hands went up. 80 to 100, pretty much the whole room, hands lit up, right? And what that meant was that basically the information that they were sharing was like, for the most part, accurate. And then you looked at the board, you looked at what the person was, determined. He took a line with the word alone, right? And he drew a line after AL. And he said, we are all one. We're all connected. We're islands, but we're all one. We're all together. And so the connection is through telepathy, through this exercise, right? You're able to get information, right? It's not like you had to figure out all of the mechanisms and what happened. It's that we are connected. We have these innate abilities. These are part of our birthright. But nobody fucking uses them. They're like dormant. It's like to me, it's like money on the table. It's like, you got money on the table here, man. Are you going to use it or lose it? And it's like flexing a muscle. If you don't flex that muscle, you inevitably sometimes lose it, don't have the same type of access. And the point that I bring up with this particular exercise, the sanctuary exercise, is that if you have a family member, someone that you have issues with, right, and you haven't buried the hatchet or whatever the issue may be, if you want to shift that, if you want to change that, what you do is you can go and you can create your sanctuary. It's very simple to do, okay? And you can envision yourself you want to be in a peaceful place when you do this. Now, the other thing I didn't mention that I use is I envelop myself in what I call pale silver light. That is D12 Maharata current. It is a frequency bandwidth. It is not white light. White light is dead light. That's the light, love, and clueless movement, New Age. Let's use white light. Woo! It's like, that's not what it's about, okay? It's not about the white love club, white light club. It's just not that. Let me know if this is making sense. Anybody, if you're out there, drop a comment. Love to hear from you. Any feedback, if this is of interest, if this is helping you out, if you, I'd love to get your take on this. If you want to offer something, please do. And also, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. So the other thing too that is really phenomenal is that, say you have an issue, right? Parent, friend, whatever. You think about what that question is that you have, and you go into your sanctuary, invite that person in, okay? And depending on how they respond to you, because now what's happening is when you go into the sanctuary, what you are doing is you are accessing a different dimensional bandwidth of that person's consciousness. And in what you're doing is you're asking for permission, because it's a form of asking permission to communicate with them, right? Rather than being blunt and blatant and just jumping in and saying something and sticking your foot in your mouth, right? Because you're in 3D. So what you're getting is ego and defensiveness, rather than I'm just here to be in harmony or to create some kind of harmonic balance between the two of us. We don't have to agree with each other, but let there be peace and harmony, right? I remember the song, it was kind of going through my head all day today. It was like Elvis Costello, what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? I kept hearing it looping. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Oh, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's, God, I wish I had access to do, what's this? Oh, I can. Oh, how cool is this? I can do this. This is cool. I can actually share screen. I didn't think I could do that. Let's do this, mate. Let me see if I can find this. Give me a second. I want to go through if I can find it here. Yeah, here we are. Shazam. Oh, is that it? Oh, that's just the, yeah, that's that. But hold on one second. Shit. Let's see. I didn't realize I could do that. That is pretty damn cool. All right, so stand by for a second here, because what I want to do is I want to open up something here. I want to open up a file, pretty much of what I was talking about in the video, right? Or of my last video, spiritual and energetic hygiene. And I want to kind of go over that with you, if you are okay with that, right? If that works for you, here we are. Boom. All right. Ta-da. Oh, mosquito. Goodbye, mosquito. Okay, so I hope you guys, can someone give me a nod? Let me know if you can see that. Is that working? I don't know. If there's anybody in, can you see that? Hopefully, where was it? Select a tab, right? I got to select the tab. The energetic hygiene checklist. Boom. Is that it? Oh, that's a video. I don't want the video. Gosh darn it. Come on. All right. Give me a second here. Still pulling this through. Oh boy. Where was not a video? It's not a video. I just opened the file. Did I not? All right. If I can't pull this up, we'll just skip it. But I really wanted to share that. It's not the video. Spiritual. Nope, not that. Mm-hmm. Nope, 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 nope. Give me a second. Still looking, still looking. Oh boy. I know. Come on, man. I just had this thing. Library. Nope, that's not it. All right, let me try one more thing. One more thing. One more thing, very briefly. So, are you guys getting any of this? You have any questions? Anybody? Give me a thumbs up, an emoji, something. Tap that screen. Is any of this making sense? If you're just dropping in, Josh, Intuitive Wellness Guide, and I'm here to answer your questions. The whole thing with the Clarity Cafe Sunday Reset is to just let's get our footing and our focus, our trajectory on our true north for the days ahead. I don't like to say week ahead because we're getting stronger. We're not getting weaker. Boom. All right. Thank you. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. What is that? Gadger fetish. Okay. Thanks, mate. And if you have any questions, let me know. But these are the things that really, kind of help. And this is what I love to do when I work with people one-on-one. Also, you can check in the description. If you do want to book sessions, you can. If you want to go deeper, I'm there. I do mentorships. I take on people a few times a week, like maybe 2 to 3 clients a week. That is my bandwidth. But it's always a lot of fun, always interesting, and super spontaneous. And I look for the things unseen in the spaces and the spaces in between. That's what I enjoy doing. But let me look for this file here really quickly, because I just had this thing open, and I'm just I found it, and I thought I double-clicked it. So let's see. All right, so open the file. There we go. Leave site. Changes may not be saved. Leave. I don't want to leave this site. I thought I had this file open. All right, I'm going to cancel this for now. We'll do this another time. But now I know I can share files, so I'll have to prep next time and have that ready to. Oh, wait, here it is. That is it, right? All right, so give me a second. I did find it. I have it open. I'm going to move this. I can't do that here. All right, so let's go here. And boom, there we are. Here we go. Got it. Can you see that? I believe you can, right? Okay. So I just want sharing to, yeah. Okay. Boom, we've got it. We're sharing now. This is so cool. Technology, when it works, it works. Cheers to that. So this is what I just uploaded a little while ago, a few days ago. Let me know if you guys can see that on the other end. Another thumbs up. Gadger, can you give me a thumbs up? Can you see that? Hopefully you can. Now it doesn't move. Now, come on. This is, yes. I want to make sure I can scroll here. I want it. Let me scroll. Let's go. Thank you, bud. All right, cool. Thank you. Thank you. All right, this is cool. And now, if only I can get it to scroll. Will that work? All right. Come on. Let's see. Boy, I'm just having some challenges here. No, that's not what I want to do. Oh man. No. Hold on a second. What's this? No, let's go back here. It's not what I want to do. Ah. Try this one more time. Okay. I've got this. Now I want to share this. Okay. So bear with me. Technical challenges. All right. There we are. Cool. Okay. So the whole thing with spiritual hygiene, right? Why every practitioner and client needs to know this. And I'm just going to kind of go through this again. And again, if you have questions with this, that's my whole thing. I wanted to be able to answer questions. With the video I did, it was more of a presentation, not really live. That's my whole thing. So I can see, yeah, that's the problem here. So anyway, I think I have to juggle back and forth between things and then bring that up. There we go. Then come back here and then we can talk. All right. So the first thing I always tell people is you got to clear your field. When you clear your field and you have, if you don't know how to clear your field, let me know if you don't know how to clear your field. Because usually people are going online and they're doing all this stuff and really they don't have the accessibility or the knowledge to do it. You know, either they pray, they do meditation. Those are some things that you can do, right? I think that's definitely important. And what if you don't, clear your field first, it can create interference in your fields. And so a lot of times what you'll find is people will walk into sessions and, excuse me, got a hair. People walk into sessions to practitioners, okay? And a lot of times your energy gets siphoned. Have you ever had that happen where you go somewhere and, you go to either a chiropractor, a doctor, it can be anywhere. You can walk into a hospital or even someone's house. And all of a sudden you just feel like the life force got sucked out of you, okay? That's what happens. And it's not done, I think, willfully or with intentions. Sometimes it is. Most of the time it's not. People have a lot of things in their fields, or they have attachments in their fields, energetic attachments, and they can see things in the astral field, right, through you. And if they want, they sort of like, and they suck energy. So the things you want to do are grounding. I always invite you to go outside, get connected to the earth, feet touching the earth. That pulls up negative ions, or excuse me, free electrons. Okay. Negative or ions are in the air. They're everywhere. If you're by a beach, the waterfall, in certain places and spaces, negative ions are amazing because they help with mitochondrial function. But you want to ground yourself as quickly, or not as quickly, but you want as effectively as you can. So, meditation, being completely present in your body, because a lot of times people aren't present in their body. I'd say maybe 40% of those people are present, right? And so if they're not going to be present in their body, then something else will be, right? So that's why it's super, super important to really ground. That's the key thing. Grounding is key. Okay. And then from there, like I like to say, here we can kind of move in this stress. A lot of things that cause interference are stress, right? Stress, substances. So like I'll never work with clients when, if they've got alcohol, drugs. A lot of people are on prescriptions and things of that nature. So when that happens, that's a whole different story altogether, because that changes the frequency bandwidth that you have. And when that changes the frequency, that changes so much that's going on. It's like you're on two different radio stations and things aren't, happening. And so that makes a huge difference when you are, if you're not really present and grounded. And then the practitioner has a hard time really locking in, and the same for them too, right? Because if they're not locked in and they're not grounded, I always encourage people to ask their practitioner, what do they do to ground? If people are seeing someone back to back to back, think about that, right? Like a massage therapist. They come out, they've been touching someone, they've been massaging someone, who knows what their energy's like? What do they do to clear their fields? So you have to come into something like that completely prepared. I know it sounds maybe nonchalant or really innocent, but the implications can have a profound and snowball effect gradually. Okay. So I'm just going to pop back because I can't. Do you guys have any questions at all? Is any of this making sense so far? Let me know before I move on. If you have any questions, just drop them in the chat. I wish I could see this. Like, I can kind of get into it now, but I just, for some reason, I cannot make this slide share move while I've got everything on screen here. So, all right. So I'm going to keep going if you don't have any questions. Gosh, there's got to be a way to do this. I know that there has to be. Come on. Let's go. Oh, maybe is this it? Is that it? No, that's not it. That's just moving the screen, but that's not changing anything. Okay. So going back to that here. All right. So other people's energy clings, static from screens, leave your phone, your tablet, your TV, whatever, electronic device you have with you, leave it in your car, at home, or don't bring it with you in the office. And again, depending on also other factors that are involved that I didn't talk about in the other video are the in a room. It's interesting. I find I go to a lot, I've not recently, but if you go to practitioners' offices and you're sitting in an office, and in their office, in their own doctor's office, they have a big LED screen, right? They have a plasma TV screen. They have their router in their office. Do you think that's going to cause any disruption, any interruption, any interference? Of course it is. It may be subtle. You may not feel it or notice it, but it definitely affects the fields. Okay. So that's the key thing is, to me, these are the things that I look for, like the things unseen and the spaces in between, but these are seen, but they're not as I guess, profoundly aware or known or seen. So it's really important to work with that, to think about that. Practitioner smudge, I use Palo Santo. You can do that. Breathe, meditate, shower. Shower's always good because that clears your energy field. Cold water, if possible, right? Client, avoid heavy arguments, substances, and negative media 2 to 3 hours before any kind of session. I don't care if you're going to a shrink. I don't care if you're going to a chiropractor. I don't care if you're going just for an interview, a job interview. These things are applicable in all situations, because the more you take care and you become aware, you are literally in the driver's seat. Because if you think about it, most people they're clueless to this information. So that's why I think this is super important. Let me jump back. And I just want to see any questions so far. Were there any questions? Okay, nothing yet. All right. So I'm just going to keep ping-ponging back because I think it's important. But if there are questions, just let me know. Let's see here. Going back to that. So yeah, audit your inputs. Your energetic field is porous, which it is. Garbage in equals garbage out. Crap in, crap out. Healthy in, healthy out. And come into a session, anything you're doing, especially a reading, tarot card, whatever it is, come in with no expectation, have an intention, but not an agenda. No expectations, right? Intention is openness. I kind of jumped ahead before two, but I think it's equally as important is that, let's see. What else? Audit your inputs, input your audits. Okay. Your energetic field is porous, garbage. Okay, we talked about news, fear media, the toxic stuff. If you've been scrolling 2 hours, or if you're in an office waiting to do something, and you're scrolling, no, don't do that. Field cleansers, like we talked about, walking, grounding, yoga, prayer, meditation, having some healthy fats. I don't know what your lifestyle is. If you're vegan, vegetarian, paleo, keto, I'm an omnivore. So, I'll do like, I don't know, a big scoop of butter, raw butter. Maybe some, I don't know, avocados, some nuts, seeds, just some fats that ground you if you're sort of flighty and can't stay focused. Okay. Music at high frequency. I put that in there, but then I thought, okay, well, if you go on YouTube and you watch a lot of these, solfeggio frequencies and stuff, but you just never know how they embed these frequencies or what's actually embedded in it. And usually your body will tell you, even though the sound may sound okay, there may be some differences in what actually is happening. So I would just, check and see how that feels for you. Silence and solitude, get into the Zen zone, my friend. Be quiet, be peaceful. Shut the mental masturbation in your mind very quickly. Gratitude and appreciation. Gratitude is the attitude, appreciation is the station. And that's where you got to tune in. So we got that agenda already decided, extracting, confirmation, control, blocks reception. So if you go into someone and you're like, okay, this guy sucks. I don't know if I'm spending enough, whatever the reservations are, you really have to let that shit go. If you align with someone and you feel it's the deal and, you've kind of opened things up, you've asked questions of the practitioner and they of you, right? Then that's where this thing can really happen. Like some of the best sessions I've had with people is because not that we both agree with each other, but we both know where we're coming from, what the client is bringing to the table, what's going on, and what I'm able to do. Sometimes if they've got something that I'm just not capable or able to address, I will let them know. It's not fair to them if I say, yeah, I can help you with that. I don't know. I do know, but like medical and, serious stuff. None of what I offer is medical advice. I offer experiences and I offer things that I have researched, but, in this world of like being accountable and responsible, one has to be accountable and responsible for their own fields and shields at the end of the day. That's why we have all these people filing lawsuits and a whole bunch of stuff because, they don't want to take responsibility. Oh, you screwed me up, man. Oh, you killed me. Oh, well, if you're dead, then you can't come back and say that. But any questions so far? Got a thumbs up. We're all good. Gadger, you still there? Yes, no. Welcome. And what else? Who else? So these are just basically some. We're still rolling here. So I'm going to keep going. And let's get into know your baseline, right? Now, that's important. Without grounding, your lunch meat. Telling you, I've seen it too many times. I've seen people go into sessions, either they're inebriated. And again, like I said, if you're on prescription drugs, that's one thing. It just depends on what's going on. And if you're not really present for the session, that can have an effect. Depending on what the practitioner is doing. I don't know what kind of work. Some people do energy work or hands-on work if they're doing chiropractic, massage, acupuncture, acupressure, needles, TCM, traditional Chinese. There's so many different modalities now. So just as Wim Hof says, be aware and take care prior to it. Meditation, prayer, we already did this. Yoga, body, grounded equals protected. And yeah, we did this. And the thing is, ask, why are you here? Ask yourself this. Why are you working with this client? Why are you, with this practitioner? Why? What is it? Are you drawn to them? Do they resonate with you? Is it the way they look, the way they sound, what they've done in their past? These are all things that build the alignment and the foundation and the base for you to move forward, okay? And get the most out of your session. Because a lot of times clients I've seen come there and they're like, okay, I got this problem. You help me. You fix me. It's like, no, you're not broken and there's nothing to fix. You just are unaware. And that's what I help people do. I bring awareness. I help open the space, right? The things unseen and the spaces in between. I may say something, you probably heard it 150,000 times, and then I just present it or share it with you in a different way. And you just go, what? I've been listening to that all my, yeah. But I just said it in a different way that you got it, right? So, but that's something to really pay attention to. Don't go there for validation seeking. I see that all over TikTok, people in the comments, you're fake, you're full of shit. Yeah, you're reading from something. It's like, then go somewhere else, like, I'm not here to appease you or, yeah, there's just people out there just playing, manipulation games. Okay, moving on. Physical state matters. We talked about that. Sleep. You don't want to go into a session, especially for the practitioner, getting surgery. Oh, I'm tired. Yeah. Same thing. You don't want to go into meet with a practitioner if you're tired, because your energy is contracted. You're not present. And like I said earlier, if you're not going to be present in your body, something else might be, right? So plenty of disincarnate energy in the astral that's looking for real estate, human real estate. So, be careful with that. Let me drop back in. Hello. Any questions? Any questions so far? Okay, we're almost getting to the end of this here. But I just want to make sure if there's anything. Does this make any sense? What I'm doing so far? Yes, no? Are you looking, are you in any way, shape, or form, going through something, looking to make a shift, an upshift, a change? And I always tell this to people when they're on, when they're in the group, it's like, what's important is that if you ask a question, you never know who's in the audience that may have the same question, but they're afraid to ask it. So if you take the chance and ask the question, right? I'm not here to ridicule you, and I don't, per se know who you are. So it's safe, right? And this is a container, an energetic container to ask those questions safely and get a response. I always say I give you responses, I don't give you answers. The answers are with you, not with me, right? So I can reflect back to you, like when I work with clients sometimes too, I will, it's different because like I said, I can see, hear, feel, sense, and sometimes smell, but it depends on the person, what comes through, right? So I've gone bilocating where I'll be talking to you, right in front of you, and then I get an image in my inner vision, you could say, of something, and I'm guided to share it with you because it's a missing piece in the puzzle that we're trying to solve. And then I share it, and then hopefully it, either makes sense to you or helps you to get some clarity in some way, shape, or form. So, but let me know if this is making any sense at all to you. I think it is, because otherwise I'm sure I'd hear a lot. But all right, moving on. Here we go. Right back. We're almost there. So, you know, mirror. Yeah, mirror, not magic wand. That's what practitioners are. We're not magic wands, right? We're not like, here, I've come to you, Oracle, to get the most precise, exact information that you can provide me right now. Please give it to me. It's like, sorry, Charlie, don't work that way. But I need you, like Gandalf. I'm here with my staff, and I command that the universe fall upon riches and prosperity and abundance and health and joy and love and great good things to you all the time, right? Yeah. I mean, that's something I personally wish for everybody. But hey, I'm not, I'm a mirror. I'm a guide. I'm just reflecting. So take that in stride. All right. You are highlighting that you are the greatest tool. The healer is in the mirror. That's what I always like to say. What comes through reflects what you're ready to receive. The practitioner holds space. You do the work. No guide can give you more than you're open to. And that is the bottom line truth. I think that's, oh, wait, there we go. So recap, protect and amplify your field is your most valuable asset. Think of your field as, I don't know, what's an analogy? I don't want to use financial or money, but elements, it's priceless. You are priceless. The value is that you are here. The presence, your consciousness is invaluable, meaning that it's beyond a 3D dollar value. It is. But you would never know that unless you recognize yourself. And most people, believe it or not, don't know who they are. They don't. Ask them, hey, who are you? Oh, here's my name. Here's where I'm from. Here's my parents. Here's my culture. Here's my religion. Here's my belief system. Here's my accolades, my degrees, my trophies. This is the clothes I wear. This is where I live. It has nothing to do with who you are. So these are the things that happen to me. Oh, look at the stuff. I've been beaten. I've been this. That's not who you are. Right? Big difference. So I implore you to tune in and find out who you are and uncover, discover, and discard that which you are not. And you'll find that you are this brilliant diamond, shining, bright, eternal, effervescent, you know, just, that's you at the core. But, you can have everybody. I'm going to tell you this one last thing. This is really, really, really interesting was that there was an exercise in the same group that I took through Insight, right? So we all got, I think it was like 100 toothpicks. And there was something on the screen. We had to build like this house. Okay. So everyone went off and, um, and, they had to build it based on what it looked like. Right. So I'm over there, I'm building, and it was a really great exercise on awareness and self-consciousness and all of this stuff. So I'm building, right? Let me just kind of come back on screen here for a minute. So I'm building, right? This is cool. So I'm building this thing, right? There's 100 of us in this room, this auditorium, and thing on the screen. And so the practitioner, or the leader, whatever, of the group was saying, okay, so when you're done building what's on the screen, find someone in the room and just go there and stand by them. Don't tell them, don't fix it for them, don't do it for them, but encourage them. Okay? Just encourage them that they got it. So, I mean, you see people spread around the room. Some people got it quicker than others, right? And so I was one of the, like, I don't know, nearly last people to get this. I had about 30 people standing around me going, come on, Josh, you can do it, man. You got this. And it brought up so much anger and rage. It was like, and I look back, I'm like, wow, this is a parallel to the universe. This is the people around me are the universe, or the energy or the support team or whatever you want to call it, guy. I mean, but the metaphor for it was I was pushing away all the positive vibes. I was angry. I was beating myself up because I didn't get it before everybody, or I didn't finish it. And now it's like almost like um, I was being exposed. Like all of this was playing in my head, and none of it was true, right? And finally, I got it. I did put the thing together. Finally, no one showed me, no one told me. Through my own evolution, I did it, right? And that's what was so phenomenal about this exercise, right? The exercise really, it showed me like how amazing, the universe is really there to support us when we're open to it, when we're open to receiving, right? And when we allow that to happen, great things can shift and change. At the end of the day, that's where things can really make a difference. And I had rejected all of this stuff, right? I mean, I had all these people around me going, "Come on, Josh, you can do it, you can do it," and I wasn't happy with like that. It was weird. It was the weirdest sensation. I don't know. Does that make sense to you? If you're listening, you got that. But for what it's worth, that's something I think that's priceless. That kind of experience, it really showed me like, wow, these are the thoughts that I have. And, when I can't get something done, do I give up? Do I remain persistent? And the reflection that I was getting in there was like, here was the universe coming to support me. It was like, it could see that I'm not completing this task, or I'm not able to do it as quickly as I would like to do it. So, um, uh, so yeah, it was quite wild. You know, uh, I don't know. Let's see. This one. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, what did I do here? Is everyone getting this? Okay, yeah, I put that in there. Just checking to see if we're getting this. And so anyway, that's what that's about. Let me go back to the presentation. Did I go back there? There we are. Protect and amplify. So your field is your most valuable asset. Protection tools, protection protocols. Uh, I put white gold light because most people know gold is D8, I believe, dimension 8, but I like D12, which is pale silverite. But that's my recommendation. There is D12, which is Maharata current. Intentional prayer, invocation, something you want to do prior to a session. Okay, salt bath. Salt can really help to detoxify and clear all of the stuck energy in your field. Smudging. You can even use like eucalyptus spray, or like a hydrosol, or like a rosemary spray, or just get salt water. Get like salt water and spray that in your field. Always great to kind of clear the energy or break things up. Sound and frequency, singing bowls, tones, binaural beats. Again, be selective with that. Reset the field. Just depends on the frequencies. Nature, that's my thing. Nature, get out in nature. I'm outside, right? The sound of the birds, the trees, the bees, the seas. That's the thing. You want to connect with that. And digital detox windows, EMF free. That's what you want. You want to be away from electromagnetic fields, especially non-native electromagnetic fields. Native electromagnetic field is the sun. That's like a hydrogen bubble, and that's what is there to basically really help with the healing, activating, transmuting. The sun is just an amazing I don't get plenty of it, enough of it, but the AM sunlight is key for grounding, big time. So here we go. Practitioner and client pre-session protocol. Do the work before the work. Clear. Okay. 1, smudge, breathe, shower, pray, release, whatever you got to do. 2, center, sit in silence. In nature, if you can. No phone, no phone, no phone. Oh, by the way, no phone, no tablet, no computer, no tech. All right? No tech. 3, protect. Set your shield. White, gold, or pale silver light. And calling in what serves the highest good, well, that's, just, it's you. Call in your highest self, because you are source, right? Vertically. So you have different levels of your own self. You have the incarnate, the soul, the oversoul, the avatar, and the rishi. Okay. And you call that in as much of yourself as you can, because you want 100% of you to be present, right? Presence is the present. That's the moment. That's the gift. Ground. Feet on the floor, breathe in belly, feel your connection to the earth. You oxygenate the blood, right? You get circulation, vasodilation, nitric oxide, the good stuff, right? And you set your intention before the session, what it is. Not that you're going to get answers, and have no expectations. So you set the intention, you go into it, and just allow for things to just unfold. Have no expectations of the outcome. And then, let go of the outcome. That's the whole idea. You let go of the outcome. You are the mirror. And they bring practitioner, your client brings what they're ready for. And you reflect it back, or you provide the service, whatever it is, whether you're a reader, chiropractor, but be present with your client. The presence of presence is the ultimate present. That's the gift. So, and you can't pour from an empty vessel, right? If you aren't clear, the reading isn't clear. Full stop. It's just the way it is. You are the metagalactic amplifier. Transmission, reception, translation, reflection. That's you. Yes, I'm a medium, but we all have these abilities. We just can access them, right? And no device, card, or technology replaces a clear, grounded, calibrated human channel. So you got to do your part. Hygiene is a practice, not a one-time event. This is the client checklist. Screenshot this, whatever you want to do. I'll upload the link to this in this live replay. So if you're watching this on the replay, you'll see the access to this list in there, right? So avoid heavy substances, limit draining conversations, set a clear intention, get grounded, hydrate, rest the night before. Come curious, curiosity. Oh, yeah, like a kid, like a child, right? Trust what comes through. Journal afterwards, right? Clear practitioner checklist for all you practitioners. Clear your field before every session. Set your protection and boundaries. Ground into your body fully, right? Release attachment to outcome, discharge absorbed energy post session. That means the previous person you were seeing, right? And don't overburden yourself with taking on all the clients. You'll get plenty. Don't do it for the money. Do it because it matters and you're there to help someone. And, you know, feel the situation first. That's my encouragement. Don't think and use intellect. Use feeling, emotion, and discernment. Critical thinking. You could say critical emotional thinking or feeling. Discharge absorbed energy. Rest after high volume session days. Audit your own inputs. And, that's it, man. If you want, there you go. Book a session with me. I'd love to work with you. If you have any questions at all, the link will be there. You can click on that link. And like I said, it's inner reflection for outer direction. That's the way I be rolling. And yeah, I hope that was engaging and informative for you. Was it? Let me know if you're there. Yes. How do we, oh, here we go. Gadget, what? How do we connect higher selves? You just simply communicate, just ask, right? You can just literally, what you can do. Have you ever heard of automatic writing? Gadget? Do you write in your left hand or your right hander? Do you write with your right hand? You can do that. Let me know. But that's one way you can write a question. Like I'm lefty, right? So I write a question. Hey, higher self, who are you? What's going on? Or I have a question. I have a dilemma. And you write that down. And then you can use your other hand. Doesn't matter if you write like chicken scratch and see what happens. Because what you're doing is you're engaging your hemispheres, your left hemisphere and right hemisphere of your brain. And that opens up like a window of higher level of communication. Okay. And your higher self will find the quickest way for you to bridge that gap, right? To close that gap. So, look at signs, look at things you're guided towards, songs. One thing I'll tell you, your higher self or your intuition will never ask you to harm yourself or anyone else. That's something that you really need to be completely and totally aware of, right? Intuition doesn't do that. And that's what I mean by intuition and higher self. There's more to it, but the basic thing is intuition. Your intuition will guide you, and your intuition doesn't like argue with you. It says, "Hey, go talk to that person," or "Read this book," or you know, and it'll usually come when you don't expect it because it circumvents the ego. Does that make sense? Let me know if that's making sense to you. That way, I can answer you. Are you still there? Gadget fetish. Gadget fetish. What was that? Gadget fetish. Does that make sense? Yes, yes. I'm trying to think of who gadget fetish is. Is that my bro? Is that who I think it is? Let me know. Let me know, bro. But yeah, there's many different ways to connect to higher selves. There's many different ways to open that space up. Because sometimes there's a lot of things that can infiltrate our persona and have sort of a negative outcome on how we, move through life. And usually those openings happen if, we've been doing heavy drugs or alcohol or things of that nature. I've seen that time and time again where people get affected. It's not permanent, but once you can recognize it, again, what is it? It's awareness. Once we have awareness, once you're aware, then you take care, and then you repair, right? So I don't know if you're still here, bro, but that's it. So, intuition is everything. That makes all the difference when you can tune in. When you fine tune intuition, man, it guides you, fucking guides you, right? Because you never know. It takes you out of your comfort zone. Okay, I want to go work out at the gym. You may get to the gym and you're all of a sudden your intuition says, go for a swim. You're like, but there's no pool at the gym. You have to, like, well, if you're by the beach, go to the beach, go for a swim. But your ego will kick and go, why are we going to go to the beach? It's too cold. It's too far. It's this, it's that. Just go. That's how intuition works, because it usually pushes you outside of your comfort zone, right? It's not doing something to you to get you in trouble. It's doing something to you to open you up, to expand your awareness, okay? So yes, that's part of your higher self, And you can put a question out there, if it's honest and it's of service to you, if it's going to benefit you, then yeah, ask the question. But you have to let go of expectations. It's sort of like having a balloon. Imagine the balloon, okay? The balloon is your question, okay? So now you've got the question. Here's the balloon. Let it go. Flies up into the universe, never to be seen again. And then don't have any expectation as to when that's going to come back or you're going to get an answer. It'll happen. That's the beauty of how intuition works. But you have to pay attention. You have to open up these sort of extrasensory perceptions and abilities and way to perceive things, right? And that's how things happen. And that's where you can make these shifts and changes. Make sense? I hope so. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. It's been wonderful. Thank you for showing up today, you guys. And I'll be back next Sunday, 7 p.m. And we'll do this again and see what the heck happens, right? And, drop in, ask some questions. This should be pretty awesome. I'm going to be uploading some more stuff coming up over the next several days. I hope you all are doing fantastic. Yes. And if you have any questions at all, drop them below in the comments. I do check them and I do respond to them. So if you miss it, you missed the live and you're watching the replay, ask them. I will have the link and I will also post the spiritual and energetic hygiene doc here free for you to access. And if you would like to book a session with me, you can also do that by clicking in the description. And we'll see you next week. All right. Take care. And we will talk later on. Ciao for now.